Good evening, one and all. So this is day 2 of our Java programming. So let us start. Just a minute, I'll share my screen once again. So last time we have seen some basics of Java. I'll revise it quickly within 2 minutes, and then we can continue with something new. So we have seen that Java is object-oriented programming language. We have seen different types of software. We have seen the difference between system and application software. And we've also seen some examples. Then compiler interpreter, Java uses both. Okay. Then we have seen this tree diagram in which we know that why we need Java Development Kit JDK. Within JDK, we find JRE and compiler, and within JRE, we have predefined code as well as JVM. And we have seen that when we want to convert the high-level language program like Java into machine-level code, that is into zeros and ones, first we'll use the compiler and then the Java virtual machine. So first the code goes to the compiler, then it gets transformed into bytecode, which is intermediate code, and that is given to Java virtual machine, which converts it into machine code, which the machine can understand. And we know that JDK, JRE, and JVM, all three are platform dependent. They are different operating systems. Whereas the code that you write, as well as the bytecode, which is the output of the compiler, they both are platform independent. Same for all the platforms. Then we have started with data types. We know that we have Boolean character, then 4 types of integer values we can store using byte, short, int, and long. And we have 2 ways to store the floating point values using float and double. Then the difference between them we have seen, which is nothing but the size that they occupy. Okay. And we have also seen in memory how the memory is distributed. Like if you have a big block of memory, inside that you have divisions which are each of 8 bits, that is 1 byte each. And then we can store the variables, the values of the variables in our memory, and each location has certain address. This will be seen in detail also little later on, but now for you to know that how the variables are stored, I have explained it. So now we can start with the next topic, that is identifiers. Now identifiers are nothing but it is the name that we give to a particular entity in our program. Name that we give to an entity means there are different entities, or you can say tokens inside a program, such as variables, functions, then classes, methods, other variables. Then we can also have certain packages. So all these names you have to give to these entities. Each class can have a name, each variable can have a name, each method can have a name. The way you name them is based on identifier rules. Okay, the names that you give for all of these are called as identifiers, and how you'll give the names, that is based on the identifier rules. So we'll see the identifier rules. We must know that whenever we want to give a name to a particular entity, okay, it may be variable, function, or anything, but that name must follow certain rules, such as that name can include letters. That means capital A to capital Z is allowed. Similarly, small a to small z is also allowed. Okay, letters means it may be uppercase or lowercase, as well as digits. Digits now 0 to 9. Okay, 0 to 9 are the digits that are allowed. Other than these, you don't have any digits, right? Using 0 to 9, only then you can form the digits like 10. 10 means 1 and 0. If you want to write 100, then 100. So you have only the digits 0 to 9, and using this, you can form different numbers. That is why digits 0 to 9 are allowed, I'm saying. Then underscore means A underscore B. It is not your minus sign. It is like your underline, you can say, but it is called underscore. And you can also have dollar sign. Okay. Now in Java and JavaScript, dollar is also allowed as the name. It can be in the name. Okay. But in C, C++ and other languages, this dollar is not allowed. Okay. But in Java, it is allowed. For example, I can write $A B. So this $A$B is the name of a variable, suppose. It is allowed. It will not give any error. But if you do it in C, C++, it will give you an error. Dollars are allowed only in Java and JavaScript. So see certain examples here. I can have letters, I can have numbers, and not compulsory that I should have dollar or underscore. It may be or it may not be. For example, here I have underscore, here I have dollar. I can also have like this, my underscore dollar 123. This is also allowed, valid variable name, valid identifier name. Now, there are certain rules like where you can use the digit and where you cannot. Now the number, the variable name, it can start with a letter. Okay, it can start with a letter. It can start with an underscore or it can start with a dollar, but it cannot start with a digit. For example, if I'm saying here one hello, the name of the identifier starting with one, it is not allowed. Okay, so with digits you cannot start, but after starting, that means somewhere in the middle you can have a digit. It is allowed. Means if I'm saying 1 to A, BC. Okay, this is a valid name or not? No, because it is starting with digit 1. But if I write AB12C, or if I write ABC12, it is valid because it is not starting with a number. It is not starting with a digit. So this one is not allowed. Second and third are allowed. Let us see further. Now you cannot have even spaces inside your variable name. I cannot say that A space B is one variable name. A and B will be identified as two different entities. That means you cannot have space between the same name. You can have A, B underscore C. It is continuous. There is no space between A, B underscore C. So no spaces are allowed in your variable name. So some examples are listed here. Hello is allowed. A single letter is also allowed. Can start with an underscore, can start with dollar. Okay. One starting with one not allowed. You have a special character at the rate. It is not allowed. Your at the rate, hashtag, exclamation mark, question mark. All these are some special characters. These are not allowed. So if anyone asks you which are the two special characters allowed in the variable name, what should be your answer?
Dollar.
Dollar.
And
Dollar and also
Understood.
understood.
yes, correct.
Understood.
These are the only two. Yes, very good. These are the only two special characters allowed. Similarly, asterisk starting with asterisk not allowed. And here you can see there is a space between my and age. This is also not allowed. So these were some examples. And one more rule is you cannot have reserved words. Cannot have reserved words in the as the name of the identifier. Now reserved word means what? I'll show you. Now there is something called as keyword and something called as reserved word. So we'll see what is the difference between them as well. So keywords are the words that cannot be used for the identifier names. What are keywords? There are 50 Java keywords and all of them are in lowercase. They will be, for example, if you write, you have your for loop. So small f, small o, small r. It is not capital F. Okay, all these reserved words or all these keywords in the lowercase only. Okay, all these 50 words are in lowercase only. And keyword means these words like for, if, else, all these words have some already defined special meaning which the Java compiler can understand. Okay, means it can understand what is the meaning of for, what is the meaning of if. All this meaning of these words is already known and it is already defined. So predefined meaning they have. And if you use for anyway in your program, suppose I say, if I want to use for as the name of a variable, if I'm writing int for equal to 15, means what I want to say that for is the name of a variable and the data type of this variable is int and the value stored in this variable is 15. But I'm calling my variable with the name for, which is not allowed. So it will give you an error. But if I say int a equal to 15, it is allowed because a is not a keyword. Okay. So you should know the keywords that are there in Java so that you don't make a mistake. So each keyword has a special meaning for the compiler. Now within these 50 keywords, you have a particular classification like 48 and 2. Now 48 keywords are actually the keywords and the 2 keywords are actually called as reserved words. So there are 50 such words which have predefined meaning. out of which 48 are called as keywords, and the remaining 2 of these words are called as reserved words. So there is some difference between keyword and reserved word. Okay, so there are 50 such words. Usually we call them keywords only, but within them, if you go to see, you have something called as 48 keywords and 2 reserved words. Now, which are these 2 reserved words? They are the words which are currently not existing. They are reserved or they are booked in advance so that they can be used in future for some purpose. Okay, I repeat, they are currently not in use, these 2 reserved words, but they are reserved or booked or kept aside so that they will be used in future. Used in future means whatever further versions of Java will come in future, the updated versions. In them, there is a possibility that these 2 reserved words might be used in future in those versions of Java. So they are called as reserved words because they are reserved. So you cannot use them also as your name of your variable because they are reserved. They can also not be used as the name. Which are these 2 words? Const and goto. Okay, these 2 words are the reserved words. And remember that true, false, and null, these are called as literals. Okay, and they are not keywords. Usually they are not called as keywords, they are the literals. So we have, in total, we have 50 words, out of which 48 are keywords and 2 are reserved words. And we know that other than these 50, we have another 3 words called as literals. Okay, which are true, false, and null. We'll see the application of all of this. So we cannot use these keywords as the identifier name. So these are the list of keywords in Java. You have these 50 keywords. Okay, there are 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 5 into 10, 50 words. Okay, this is a collection of 50 keywords. So you can go through them. You might know about for, you might know about while, you might know about if. Okay, and there are different words which we'll see. And why are these asterisks put over here? That means this. Yes, someone
There
wants
is
to.
a true and false. These words are also like keywords only.
Yeah, they are keywords, but more specifically, they are called as literals. Okay, so if you use true or false in your program somewhere, it should be in a valid place. You cannot use it anywhere. Okay, so if you can see, I don't think so true or false are mentioned in this list. They are not mentioned, right? Yeah, true and false are not mentioned in this list. So actually, they are called as literals. Means they are the values of the Boolean data type. If you are using a Boolean data type, then the value that this Boolean variable can store is either true or false. So it is actually a value, right? That is meaning of literal is value actually. So usually then they do not come under the keywords. Okay, but you should be careful where you're using them. Is it okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So why I'm using these stars means, if you can see here, const asterisk means not used. Why? Because it is reserved. Reserved means in future it will be used. Double asterisk where it is written over here for a strict FP means it was added in Java version 1.2. So this is just to indicate in which version the existence was defined, from which version onwards they came into use. Okay, when you're using this strict FP, whenever you're using strict FP, you'll only write it as strict FP. You won't write this asterisk. This asterisk denotes what? When it came into existence. You will not write this asterisk. You will only write strict FP. Don't write the asterisk. This asterisk in this table indicates when it came into existence. So you should know these keywords, okay? With practice and as you program, you'll get to know which are the keywords, and you cannot use them in your variable names. So now there are some examples here. You tell me which are valid and which are not valid. So $2, is it valid or not valid as an identifier name?
Valid.
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 Valid. What about person?
Not
Valid.
valid. Valid.
What about day?
Not
Not
valid.
valid.
Not valid.
Not valid.
Not valid.
Okay, because it starts with digit. What about radius?
Valid.
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 Yes. What about area?
Valid.
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 Valid. Point hello valid. What about a plus b?
Not valid.
Not valid.
Not, because plus is
Not
also an
valid.
operator which you cannot have in the name of your variable. Here there is space. Okay, so this is also not valid. Then int is one of the keywords, not valid. Main is also one of the keywords, not valid. System also you cannot use. It is in one of the keywords. So these are some examples. So left hand side are all legal, means you can use them. Right hand side are illegal. Any doubts still here?
No.
No.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now one more. Yes. Okay. Now one more thing. It is case sensitive language. Java is a case sensitive language. Means if you write capital A, it is not the same as small a. So if I'm writing ABC as the variable name, and if I'm writing capital A, small bc, these two are different variables. Okay, so if you're saying print the value of ABC, it will print something else, and if you're saying print the value of capital A, small bc, it will print something else. So this is the meaning of case sensitive. Some more examples. This area and this area are not same. Similarly, here A is capital, R is capital, remaining two are small. So this is also different. Here all are capital, this is also different. Capital X different from small x, capital M is different from small m. Okay, so it is case sensitive. This is called case sensitive. Now some tips that how you'll name the variables. You must name them clearly and as a descriptive name. For example, if you want to store the username of some user, then call that variable as username. So you can write int username equal to some value. Okay, so whoever has developed the program or someone else who wants to understand your program, he will understand that 72 is nothing but the username. Okay, so meaningful names you should give. Even if you write int a equal to 72, it is okay. Means you'll in your program that you have developed, you know that a will store the username. But if anyone is reading your code, then he will not understand that a means username. Right? So meaningful name you should give. Otherwise, there's one more option called as comments. So you can write a comment over here that means you can write some description over here that A is storing the username. You can write one statement like that. So how you'll write that statement? So you must write it using a comment. Comment is something that the compiler will ignore during the execution. If I write, okay, I have included it over here, I think so. Okay, I have not included it in my presentation. I'll explain it. Here comments means what? If I'm writing int a equal to 26, I want to tell the person who reads my program that A is storing the username. Or maybe after 6 months I'm seeing my program, I don't know, I don't remember what A is storing. So that in that case, it will help me also if I write a comment. So how you will write a comment? There are two types of comment. One is single line comment, one is multi-line comment. If you want to write a single line of description, you must write it after two forward slashes. This is called as forward slash. Okay, if you put a line like this, it is called forward slash. These are two forward slashes. Using two forward slash, you can write A stores username. Okay, something like that. If you want to write multiple lines of description, for example, just a minute. So here int A equal to 26. I can write A stores username. Or if I want to write multiple lines, I can write using this way. I must write forward slash asterisk. Then I can write A stores. Then on the next line, I will write username. Okay, username. And then I will write asterisk forward slash. So whatever comes between this and this, whatever comes between this starting and this ending will be considered as comment. So this is first line, this is second line. Means multiple lines I'm using to write the comment. So that will be inside this multi-line comment. I'm using a single line here, so this is single line comment. In Python, do you remember how you used to give single line and multi-line comment? Can anyone tell me?
Hash.
Hash is for what? Single line or multi-line?
Single line.
Single line. Single line.
Hash is for single line. What used to do for multi-line?
Three
For
Three
multi-line,
stress.
what
single
is it?
quote.
Full quit. Full quit.
Yeah. You can give single quote. Then you write something, you'll write something, you'll keep on writing, and then again single quote. So in Java, it is this way. In C also it is this way. In C++ also it is this way. So for these three languages, this way. And do not use. See, now you can use dollar as a part of your variable name. Okay, it will not give an error, but usually people do not use it because in some languages dollar is supported like Java, but in some other languages it is not supported. So usually people do not use any special character like this. Even if you use, you don't get error, but usually people, according to conventions or standards, usually people do not use it. So we have seen the identifier rules. So I've listed all these rules over here. Just a minute. So identifier name is name of variable, method, class, package, interface. We'll see all this. So we can start with letters, dollar, underscore. Cannot start with digits. Digits can be inside in anywhere in the middle or at the end. It is case sensitive, and keywords cannot be identifiers. Can you remember there's one more rule that I've not listed over here? We have discussed it, but there's one more rule. Can you remember which is that rule which is missing over here? You cannot use spaces inside your variable name. Okay, that was the one which is missing over here. Spaces not allowed. Now, naming conventions. So any doubt till now? Anything you want to ask? Yes?
No.
Okay. Now, there are certain ways you can write the name of your identifier. For example, this is called as Pascal convention. This is not like compulsory you have to follow it, but usually people follow it. So maybe according to the style of writing the name, you may understand that what is this name or why it is used. So for example, let us see. You'll understand after the example that Pascal convention means here there are three words. This is a name, four words actually. So this is the name of a variable. This is a single variable's name. So the first letters of these words are capitalized. For example, this has a capital T, is has a capital I, A has a capital, A is a single letter, so it is capital, and capital N. Okay, rest all are lowercase. The next example, what this is camel case, means the first letter is small for this. So you have four words. This is a name, but this is the first word and it is starting with small t. And further, you will follow the Pascal, that is capital I, capital A, capital N. Okay, this is just additional knowledge. It is not compulsory to remember. Okay. Then there is one more, that is snake case. Snake case means between each word you'll give an underscore. So can you see the difference between these three ways of writing the identifier names? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So it is not
Yes.
compulsory, but you should know it. And how you can, and where is this convention used? For which type of identifier? Every Java program consists at least one class. Okay. And class, we'll discuss what is that. And Pascal case is usually used for classes. So whichever is the name of your class, it will be written in this way, usually. Not compulsory, but people prefer writing it like this. It will not give you an error if you don't follow it. Even if you follow it, you won't get an error, but it is the standard way of writing. If you're having methods, means it is a type of function only. Method is function, there is difference, but you can consider it as a function only. Camel case is used for the name of the function. Camel case means this one. And then you can have snake case for any variable name. Suppose you have a class, the name of the class is person. So let me say person1. So I'll use camel case. This is an example of camel case. Inside my class, I have some method. For example, display data. As you can see, I'm using camel case for the method name. And then suppose I have some variable here. I'll use this snake case for that. Okay, so this is an example I gave you. And remember that the execution of your program, from where it will always start from the main method or the main function of your program. We'll see examples. So let us now see some practical oriented thing. So this is your IntelliJ idea. So first time today we'll use the IDE. Okay, so already I've written lots of code in this, so it is showing me this. For you, it may show a welcome screen, and then you'll have to create a project, and inside that project you'll have to write some file. You'll have to create some files. Inside that file you'll have to write code. So I'll show you how to create a project. Project is nothing but a collection of your Java files. For example, this is one file. In that I've written some code. Then I have some other file. Inside that also I've written some code. I have another file, inside that some other code. So all these files that you can see here are stored within this file. This is a folder. Okay, this is a folder, com.company. Inside this folder, I have multiple files and maybe other folders also. For example, this is a folder inside this folder. Com.company is the outer folder, and procedural Java nodes practice sets is an inside folder. So one folder can be inside another folder. Similarly, you can have different files, maybe text file, maybe Word files, maybe PPTs. For example, this is a Java file. Means its extension you can see here, it is .java. See my mouse pointer extension is .java. So it is a Java programming file. Means inside this file, Java code can be situated, can be found. So this is it is actually called as package. Okay? This com.company is a package. This package is nothing but a collection of files, or you can say each file has a class. Okay, each file has a class. As you can see over here, in this file, I have a class. The name of the class is this one. Now, as I said, here I'm using snake case. As you can see, underscores are there. But I'm using it for the name of a class. It's okay, you won't get an error. But usually people do not prefer this. That is what I want to say. So there is a class inside this file. So you can say that each of these files consists of a class. So a collection of all these classes forms the package. Now inside this package, you can have multiple classes, you can have multiple interfaces and other libraries, everything. Okay, so a package is nothing but a collection of your Java codes. So that is the meaning of package. And whenever you're using this file, suppose I want to code in this file, suppose I want to code in this file or in this file, whenever you're using that file, you must mention the name of the package. Okay, we'll see all this in detail in future. For now, let us start off with a simple program. So for writing a program, I have to create a file first, and that file should be, suppose, in this class. Okay. So that we'll see now. Any doubts? Because someone is unmuting himself. So any doubts? Okay.
Which code editor are you using?
I'm using IntelliJ IDE. So you can use anything, but as I said, preferably go for this because you have different shortcuts that you can use here. So it will also give you suggestions. It will detect the errors beforehand for you. It will give you suggestions for fixing the bugs. Bugs means some errors in your program. It will also give you some way in which you can write multiple lines of code without actually writing them. You'll just click one button and the code will be in front of you. That is why I prefer this IDE, but it's totally up to you. So I was saying that I'll show you how to create a project. Project means nothing but here you can call it as a package. So in this package, I have multiple files. Now I'll create one package in front of you and I'll show you how to do that. So is the font visible? Like you can clearly read all this, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now see here, top left, you have different options here, file, edit, view, etc. So in view, if you go, you can show it, you can alter the appearance and all, like you want to see the menu, you don't want to see, or if you want to see the recent files that you've accessed. Okay, if you want to see some documentation, means some suggestions and all that, you can go for that. Navigate is if you want to search something, okay, you can explore this navigation and all that. For now, let me show you project. So click on file, or you can say hover your mouse pointer over file and then click on new and then go for project. This is to create a new project, or you can say new package. So click on project. It will open this box for you. And you can see here, you're using the JDK. Okay, this is the JDK which I have installed. Right, I had told you all also to install. This is that JDK which is identified by this
Excuse me?
IDE.
Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Your screen is freezed.
Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Is it visible now?
No.
No.
Is it for everyone?
Yeah, it's
Now visible.
visible, but not visible.
Okay, 1 minute. I'll close the unnecessary things. Just a minute. Is it visible now? Can you see the IntelliJ IDE? I mean, can you see any movement?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so currently you can see the Google Meet platform, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's now
Yes.
not frozen. Okay, so let me repeat. Click on File, click on New, click on Project. It will open this box. And here you can see the JDK. Now there may be different JDKs that you have installed on your system. There may be more than one also. So here you can select which one you want. Currently I have only one. And if you do not have JDK currently, you can also download it by clicking on this. Or you can add a particular JDK on your own also. Usually it recognizes the different JDKs on its own. If you want, you can add your own JDK also. Means any other JDK also you can select. And make sure that this Java is the file in which you're working currently. So this Java should be selected if it is not, and then click on next. Then check this box, create project from template, and then click on next. And now you have to name this project. For example, I'll name it as third project. Okay, you can call it anything. I'm calling it as third project. And this package is by default com.company. If you want, you can change it. Okay. For now, if I do not change it, I'll be in the same package over here that I've shown you, right? All these files are inside com.company. My file, which I'm creating just now, it will be within com.company only. So you can have one package within another package also. So this package will be created inside com.company. Then click on finish. So if you want, you can continue in the same window or maybe new window. I'll continue in this window only. So as you can see here, this third project has been created. Okay, and it has a single file, main, inside it. So this is how you can create a project. By default, this one file will come. Means already defined code, as I said, you'll get some already defined code. Okay, and you have the different packages. You can check out the packages that you have over here. You can also check out for the different files that you have. For example, I have com, inside that I have company, that means com.company, and inside that main I have. Okay, so you can see over here also, inside third project, I'll have com.company. Now, if I want to, just a minute. So this was one of the way in which you can create a project. So in this project, I will write my code now. So I can write my code within this class. So this is a class with the name main. And then inside that I have one method. Okay, this name can be either main or it can be something else also. We'll see that later. And then you have a main method. As I said, one main method, this is a single main method, is compulsory in every program. Okay, each program should have compulsorily one main method. Otherwise, it will not execute. It will give you an error. And execution will always start from the main. So if you want to do hello world over here, if you want to print that out, then what is the way to print something is system dot out. See, here you're getting suggestions. You can use out or set out. So I'll click on this directly if I want. Dot print ln. So print ln is one suggestion. Yes, directly click enter. It will automatically complete that for you. So that is why it is the benefit of an IDE. Now there's a shortcut also. You may think just to print hello world, I have to type system.out.println. So every time I want to print something, I have to type so much, right? Means all this I have to type. So there's one shortcut. That shortcut is SOUT, or some people call it SOUT or South. Means if
Hello.
you type, yes.
Your screen is lagging.
Okay,
Yes,
but
sir.
I can't do much about that. So just
Means
try
now
to
the screen is
adjust.
froze.
Now is it frozen, or can you see SSSS?
No, it's frozen.
No.
Okay, 1 minute. I am presenting again. Now can you see I'm typing S in my ID? Can you see it moving?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's one shortcut to do system.out.println. That is SOUT if you type and click on enter. Okay, I'll repeat. If you type SOUT or maybe even SOU and click on enter, this whole thing will be auto completed for you. So each time you want to print something, no need to type system.out.println, simply SOU and enter. Okay, it will work for only IntelliJ IDE. I don't think it works for VS Code. As far as I have seen, it doesn't work for VS Code. So this is the shortcut for this. Now I want to print hello world. Now hello world is a string, so that I will print within double quotes inside this parenthesis. Hello world. Okay, and usually the strings will be highlighted with this green color automatically. And these are the keywords, public static void, they're highlighted in blue. Okay, and this is within the curly brackets. Suppose you want to minimize this, then you can simply click on this arrow. Or if you want to run only this part, you can click on this arrow. So suppose you want to run this main.java file. Okay, this file if you want to run, there are some different ways. So one way is right click over on this workspace and click on run main. Then what will happen? Something you can see over here, this blue color line means is building the project. It is doing some linking, loading, all those things. And finally, when it finishes, this terminal type will open and you'll get to see the output over here. You can see hello world, that is the output of this program. Okay, now this was, you had only one file inside this package. If I want to create another file inside this same package, what I'll do, I will not click on file, new project. I will not do all that. I want to create the package or the file over here only. Means at the same level where main is there. Other than main, I want one more file. Okay, for that what I'll do, inside this company, as you can see, there is one company over here. So right click on that, click on new, click on Java class. Now this time the small box will appear and you can create a new file. And usually the name of the Java file is same as the name of the class inside that file. I repeat, the name of the Java file is same as the name of the class inside that Java file. For example, here main.java. So the class name inside this Java file is main. You can have multiple classes also, but if you have one class, it is usually called as same as the file name. So now I want another file and its name should be, suppose, I'll use demo. Okay, the name of the class is demo, and it will create a new Java file whose name is demo.java. And inside the demo.java file, I'll have a class whose name is demo. So when I write demo here, I must simply click on enter. So as you can see, initially I had main only. Now I have demo file also. And as you can see, the file name is demo.java and the class name is also demo. So is it clear how you can create a new project, and inside that project, how you can create multiple files? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I send you the recording, just go through it. You'll get to know the process. So that was about writing your first program. Now next we'll go back to some theory part. Declaration. Now, if you want to, PPT is visible, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to create some variable can store some value, and how it is stored, we've seen that already. So if I'm writing int a equal to 25. Now there are multiple things happening at the back end internally when you write this line of code. First, what happens is allocating space. So this actually I've done 2-3 steps in a single line. If you want to do this in 2 lines, there's an alternative. So this is one way doing it in the 1 line of code only. Another way is, first you'll write int a semicolon. Here also semicolon. Int a you'll write, and the next line you'll write a equal to 25. So first step is actually called as declaration over here. And the second step is called as initialization. Declaration means you're going to tell the compiler or interpreter that you're using a variable a in your program. Okay, this is you're declaring, you're announcing that a is a variable inside my program. But now a does not store any value. When it will store value? When you execute the second line. Now it is not compulsory that these 2 lines must be one after the other. You may first write int a equal, first you will write int a, then you may have several lines, and then after some time you may write a equal to 25. It is allowed. Or maybe one after the other also you may write int a, next line a equal to 25. That is also allowed. Okay. So first line is declaration, is announcement, and next line is initialization, means storing the value inside the variable. Means when you execute the second line, what will happen? A equal to 25 means 25 will get stored in the memory. So let me repeat this clearly. So when you write int a, it means that you are assigning some space, you are declaring. Declaring means you are announcing, and at that time when you are declaring, at that time what happens internally? Internally it will reserve or book some space for you for the variable a. So in the memory what will happen? You have different blocks of memory, right? You have different blocks. So one block will be caught, whichever is free, that block will be caught, and that will be reserved or allocated or assigned for a variable. Suppose that this block. Okay. So you have reserved some space, you have stored some space for a at the declaration. Next, maybe after some lines of code, you are writing a equal to 25. When this line a equal to 25 gets executed, that time in this memory, 25 will get stored in the form of zeros and ones. Okay. And here also not necessary one block, maybe multiple blocks, right? Because a is integer, it occupies 4 bytes, means each block is 1 byte, so 4 blocks total. 4 blocks will be reserved. Okay, just for your convenience, I showed you 1 block, but this is an integer, so 4 bytes means each block is 1 byte. So 4 bytes means 4 blocks. So 4 blocks will be reserved for a, and 25 will be stored in all these 4 blocks in the form of zeros and ones. Right, I hope you have understood what happens at declaration, what happens at initialization. Is there any doubt till here? Should I repeat anything? So declaration means storing the memory for a, and initialization means storing the value for a. Yes, you can ask your doubt. You are asking something?
No.
Okay. Any doubts? Yes, no?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. So
No, sir.
sometimes, yeah, so sometimes what happens if you do not initialize and you directly try to print the value of a, that may give you garbage value. That also we'll see later on. So now declaration means, the syntax of declaration is what? Int a means the data type and then the name of the variable. That is type and name. The type should be compatible with the data. Means what? If I'm saying int a, then in future I must store an integer value only inside a. I cannot write a equal to hello. It will give you error because hello is a string. But at the time of announcement, at the time of declaration, you said that a will store only integers, but you're storing string. That will give you an error. That means compatible, means it should go hand in hand. If you're declaring it as an integer, you should store an integer inside that variable. That is what is written here. To store a string, the data type should be string. That means I must write string a. I want to do it in 1 line, I will write string a equal to hello. If I want to do within 2 lines, first I'll write string a and next line a equal to hello within double quote. So usually to save time or to reduce the number of lines of code, we go for a single line approach. So this is declaration, as you can see, string my name. And this is declaration, means memory has been stored, allocated for my name variable. Now, if you want to do it multiple times, means multiple variables of the same type. For example, I want to say int a, then I want another variable b, its type is again int. So I'll have to do again int b, again int c. No, you can do it in a single line following this syntax. What you'll do, int a comma b, if any other variable comma c, and so on. And then finally semicolon. Means you have reserved the space for three variables abc. Right? You have reserved the space for three variables abc. And then after this declaration, anywhere in your program, you can assign the values. But if you're saying that, just a minute. If you're saying a equal to 25, and then later on you're writing int a, will this be allowed? What do you think? First you're writing a equal to 25 and then you're declaring. Is this allowed? What do you think?
No.
Not allowed.
No.
Not allowed. Correct. Why? Because you're saying a equal to 25, but where this 25 will get stored? Only at the declaration, the memory, the space gets reserved. There is no space only that has been allocated. There's no space that has been assigned. Then where 25 will get stored? That is why first declare and then initialize, or declare and initialize at the same line, right? So that is another thing you need to remember. And multiple variables if you want to declare, this syntax. Now, what if you want to initialize and declare on the same line for multiple variables? For example, you want to use three variables A, B, C, and you want to declare and initialize on the same line. So what you'll do is int A, all are integers, suppose. A, B, C are integer variables. You write int A equal to 12, comma, B equal to 16, comma, C equal to, suppose, -1. So on the same line, I have declared A as well as initialized A, declared B as well as initialized B, declared C as well as initialized C, and finally semicolon. So these are the different ways. I hope these are clear. Similarly, for string also, you can do the same way. And as I said, it must be declared before it is used, or declared before you are initializing. And for initializing, we are using this equal to. And actually, it is not called as equal to, it is called as assignment operator. You're assigning a value 25 for the A variable. Similarly, my job is a variable, which is actually a string over here. Means what? If I'm writing my job equal to programmer, this is actually initialization. Means somewhere above, I have written string my job, right? Do you get this idea? Means ideally, if I'm writing directly my job equal to programmer, if I'm writing directly my job equal to programmer, that means someone will assume that already this my job has been declared somewhere above. That means somewhere above, it may be, if you're a good programmer, it is possible that you have written string my job somewhere above. Okay, it's a possibility. And then further below, you have written my job equal to programmer, right? But if you're directly writing my job equal to programmer, it will give you error. So programmer will be stored in my job variable. An expression is anything that produces a value. Now expression and value, there's a difference between them. For example, if I'm saying, if I write int a equal to 5. So 5 is a value over here. 5 is a single value. But suppose I write int a equal to 5 plus 2. 5 plus 2 is an expression which has to be solved. 5 plus 2 is 7. And that final result, which is 7, will get stored inside A. Right? So if after the equal to, means after the assignment operator, means to the right hand side of the assignment operator, if you have an expression, not necessarily a single operator like plus, maybe 5 plus 2 into 8 minus 6, you may have a long expression. After the equal to, means at the right hand side of the assignment operator, if you have an expression, first the expression will get solved, and after that, the final result will get stored inside a variable. Right? This is because equal to is an operator, plus is an operator. So first, whatever is after the equal to will get solved, and that will get stored in the variable. So variable is at the left-hand side of equal to, and the expression is at the right-hand side of equal to. And equal to is nothing but assignment operator. Is this clear till now? Any doubts you have?
Can you explain that variable name equal to expression and again that my job equal to programmer?
Okay. So just a minute. So here what is written is my job equal to programmer. Directly this line you can see. So what a good programmer will think, he will think that there's a declaration somewhere above. This is an initialization. Do you agree with me? My job equal to programmer is initialization. Do you agree?
Yes.
So above this initialization, there may be somewhere. So if this is line number 1, line number 2, line number 3. So at line number 3, suppose you have the my job equal to programmer. Okay, and semicolon. So somewhere above there should be compulsorily a declaration, and it is a string. So string equal to string my job semicolon. So somewhere before this initialization, compulsorily the declaration should be there. If it is not there, you'll get an error. So this is what I wanted to say. A good programmer will follow this. Okay, so if line number 1 did not exist, what will happen? Error. So this was about my job thing. And about expression, if I say, now suppose I'm writing int a, and on the next line I'm writing a equal to 25. So here 25 is a single value which will get stored inside a. But suppose I write here 25 plus 2 into 4 minus 7. So this is not a single value. So what happens? Whatever is at the right hand side of assignment operator, this is assignment operator. Whatever is at the right hand side will first get solved completely. So 25 plus 2 into 4 minus 7, according to precedence, like first you should solve multiplication or first you should solve addition. All those rules will be applied. Okay, computer already knows those rules. No need to specify the rules. Computer already knows. So it will solve the expression. Suppose the value 56 is generated as the final result, then that 56 will get stored inside A. So first, what will happen? Whatever is at the right hand side of the assignment operator, that will get solved, and then it will be stored inside A, the final value. So that is the difference. And why this happens? Because equal to has the lowest precedence. Means first, equal to is an operator, assignment operator. Plus is an addition operator or arithmetic operator. Minus and multiplication are also arithmetic operators. So first, these arithmetic operators will get executed because they have higher priority. And equal to, that is assignment operator, has lesser priority. So first, whatever has higher priority, suppose this is a principal, you'll talk to him first. And then if equal to is your friend, then you'll talk to him, right? First, you'll talk to the principal, then you'll talk to your classmate. That means you're giving higher priority or you're giving importance to your principal. So that is the meaning of solving the expression. So after you finish with the principal told you that his value is 56, then you'll talk to your friend. Okay, I'm just giving a very random example. So I hope you have understood. So we'll see this also. What is the order of execution? Whether you'll see some people may say A equal to 25 should be happening first, and then you'll execute the remaining. No, that is wrong. Okay, so why that is wrong, that we'll see in future. But for now, remember this. So is your doubt clear?
Yes.
Okay. So here examples of expressions, they may be within the bracket also. You may write within the bracket 4 into 2 plus 6, whatever. Now assigning a value while declaring it. So as I said, this is declaration part and this is initialization part. So as you can see, the two things are done on the same line, means declaration and initialization. Okay. And if you want to do on two different lines, this is the way. Both are same. Just the difference is you'll need some extra lines of code. So as I already showed, this is the program structure for a simple program. For any program, there should be at least one class and there should be main method compulsory. What is the string args and all, we'll see later. So every Java program should have at least one class. And Pascal case you can use, Camel case you can use, Snake case, it's up to you. Not compulsory, but people where they prefer which case I've told you. Okay, so we will stop here for today. I think I've explained a lot. So next time I also have certain handwritten notes. Okay, you can refer them also. In PPTs there's less content. I'll share the handwritten notes later with you. So the PPT is already uploaded on that sheet. Okay, you can access it from there. And today's lecture will be uploaded by tonight. Any doubt till now, you can ask me and quickly put your attendance in the chat box. You can put your name, department, and roll number.
So, what will happen if we give two values to the same variable?
Yes, so for example, if I'm writing int a, you must declare it only once. So after some time I'm saying a equal to 12. So suppose I have here line number 1, line number 2. If you don't have any doubts, if you want to leave, you can leave, okay? Lecture is over, I'm just clearing doubts. So see here, int a is over here. I've declared it once. Till line number 2, if you're at line number 2, you still do not know the value of a. At line number 3, you know the value of a is 12. At line number 4 also, the value of a is 12. Suppose at line number 5, I write a is equal to 15. At line number 5, a ka value is changing to 15. So at line number 6, you will consider the new value, updated value of a. So at line number 6, a is equal to 15. At line number 7 also, a is equal to 15, and so on. Suppose at line number 8, you write a is equal to 20. So from line number 8 onwards, you will have a equal to 20. So this is how you can update the values. And suppose at line number 1, you're writing int a, then a equal to 12. And at line number 5, you're again writing int a equal to, suppose, 100. This will give you an error because the same variable cannot be declared more than once. You're declaring a at line number 1 also, and you're declaring a at line number 5 also. This will give you an error. So one variable with the same name cannot be declared more than once, but you can initialize or update its value more than once. Is it clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other doubt? If no doubts and you put your attendance, you can leave. Thank you for attending.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank
Any
you.
other doubts? You
Thank
can
you.
ask. Welcome. Welcome. Any other doubts? You can still ask.